Hello, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from Mason Works Marketing, and I'm here with Peter Melton. Hi, Peter.
Hello, Kathy, and that beautiful painting you have in the background. I love everybody's Zoom stuff. You got crystals and idols and flowers and fish. You got it going on, girl.
Yep. Well, I wanted to focus more on what you're going to do than on my background.
Oh,
I basically am curious because we're in the middle of World Unity Week, and you've created this very amazing unity handshake thing. Can you explain a little bit about it?
yeah. So, 26 years ago, I was at the Woodstock 25-year reunion and driving up in the car in a line, and a guy sticks his head out the window next door to us, and as we're in this line, and he's like, "Peace, man. You got any?" And I'm like, oh, my heart just broke. It was like, here I am at Woodstock, and I just want to be in that 60s, 70s peace vibe. And what I get is that. And which ended up being an amazing part of my life, as it turns out, because what downloaded to me at that time, Kathy, was, Peter, you've got to do something about that. The two-finger peace sign, just, first of all, it's not working. And second of all, it's lost most of its luster for most people,
Right,
and there's got to be more to peace than what we've made up about peace.
right.
That peace is just, let's stop fighting. And it's like, wow, and all these thoughts start clicking in. I'm like, well, what's more than peace? And through a long process of of 26 years of adventure and what does a new peace sign look like, it started off as a three-finger peace sign, because
Right.
I thought what's more than two is three. And so I created a sign, a three-finger sign that was called Trees back in 1995, 94. And me and my buddies are around Woodstock flashing our three fingers and talking to people about the new peace sign, right? And a few years later, George Bush comes out. George W. Bush comes out with his W, right? And I'll never forget a friend of mine, well, Neil Donald Walsh,
Yeah,
Conversations with God, who I was
yeah.
working with at the time. He says, Peter, I saw George Bush doing your sign, right?
Oops.
I'm like, oh yeah, George Bush. I mean, I don't, all of a sudden I thought George might be okay. And turns out that he was, because when I realized what he was doing, and that was a W, I'm like, well, I think that's a sign, Peter. I think that's a sign that maybe your peace thing needs to shift. And so I owe a big debt of gratitude to George Bush for having the middle name of Walker for W. So then I had this incredible moment, Kathy, where I said, okay, Peter, so if three's not more than two, what's more than two? I'm like, oh my God, duh. What's more than two is one, right? It's like, oh my God, here I've been working with this new thought author who's helping everybody remember that they're one. And
Oneness.
I'm all engrossed in that. And I'm helping people learn and remember that they're all one. But somehow I wanted to make the peace sign about two, three, four. Let's do a six-finger sign. That'd be great. You know, and so it's like, oh my God. And it landed in just the most profound way. It's like, oh my God, that's it. What's more than peace is unity, is remembering that we're not two sides trying to figure it out.
Right.
We're one family doing it, right? Being the peace we want in the world, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow. So how do you make a sign that shows two coming together as one? And over the years, I played with every possible incantation you could imagine of two coming to one, cut it out, piece it together, the unified peace sign. I just, anything. Well, maybe it's about together. We should call it the together sign, or the together in peace sign, or, and so just playing with all these things. Then finally, it became, I had this idea when oneness started really picking up with Steve Farrell and Humanity's team that I was a part of.
Yeah.
And it's like, oneness, that's what we're talking about. It could be the oneness sign, right?
Uh-huh.
And so Steve and some of the team there really liked it. They started promoting it on Global Oneness Day, and I'm starting to generate some energy around it, and it just never quite grabbed. And that was starting in 2012. And so for many years, I was playing with Humanity's team around the possibility of the oneness sign. And then in 2012, I went to Co-Creators Convergence event in Loveland, Colorado,
Right.
and was brainstorming with some people about it. And in particular, Noel and Bob said, Peter, your sign needs to do something else. This isn't quite it. It needs to come in. right? And I'll never forget, I can picture it at this moment. Noel kind of went like this, right? I'm like, oh, that's it, bring it in, right? This is an inside job. It's not an outside job, and it's not a cut it out job. And it's a, right, it's a bring it in job.
Yep.
And so we developed what was then the next level of the oneness sign, which was bring it in and land it here. And
Okay.
just 2 to 1, we're remembering that we're one, right?
Perfect.
And a few years of playing with that from 2012, that's really when it kicked in at another level too, with humanities team, and promoted more and tried to find the right niche, find that it just, we weren't quite ready for it, I guess. And so a few more years goes by, and I introduce it to a whole bunch of different people. Everybody likes the concept, but it just didn't quite land. And then I met Ben Bowler with the Unity.Earth group, and they were going to do this caravan of unity. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to run off with the peace circus. We're going to go across the country, and I'm going to share what was the oneness sign. And I'm like, that's it. It's got to be the unity sign.
Perfect.
Right. And this is a year and a half ago, roughly now, in early 19. And I'm like, that's it. Oneness, the word oneness has a certain vibe to it, but it doesn't resonate with as many people as unity. That unity is just cleaner, stronger word. And I'm like, Ben, let's do this. And before that, even it had become one in and out, peace in and peace back out. So
Oh,
that started, I think, in 2017 or 18. I don't remember when that. It was just this, but then it became. We thought we were separate. We're remembering that we're connected. And when we come from that connected place, we can act peacefully on the planet.
beautiful.
And so it's this motion, it's a dance, it's a flow, I'm doing my best. Can you do your best too? A little bit of a call out, and it invites people to talk about unity. And so it became the unity sign, and Ben and his team were excited to promote it and launch it last year, and it kind of didn't happen. And then it was going to launch with the 50th anniversary of the Woodstock, because there's a gal, Heidi Little, who's connected to all of this, and International Children's Month and many other programs, and she is connected with the Woodstock people, and they were going to launch the new peace sign at the 50-year reunion of Woodstock, which was just out of this world crazy, because it came to me at the 25-year Woodstock.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. And for a time last year, I was just thinking, this is crazy. You couldn't have written it up any better, right? And so then a year or time goes by, and then it's like, okay, Ben, let's launch this thing with the Caravan of Unity. And okay, let's do it. And then it's like, well, that changed, and now it's World Unity Week. Okay, let's launch it with World Unity Week, right? And he said, okay, I'll tell the people on this call. And I told a bunch of the leaders about the Unity sign, and they liked it. And so it started to get some traction, and some people started using it. And just the other day, I saw Fumi John Stewart use it with her May Peace Prevail on Earth. She does all the peace polls, and she May Peace Prevail on Earth, right? And it's like, oh yes, may peace prevail on earth. And so it's resonating with people. Just as we're catching on, we're feeling this consciousness shift. Somebody was saying the other day, it feels like the 100th monkey is happening.
Right.
Right?
It really does. It feels like what we're doing with World Unity Week is the first online Woodstock. It really feels the hope and anticipation and the excitement about what's to come is palpable.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And boy, you get on some of these Zoom calls with the leaders from these peace organizations and religious organizations and spiritual organizations and activist organizations. I mean, I've been on some Zoom calls that have blown my mind. Indigenous leaders from all over the world. And then I get on the call with Europe, and now you're talking about all of the leaders of Europe. And it's like everybody, all the unity groups have decided maybe we need to do an event in unity.
What
right?
a concept.
What back to that, oh yeah, one is more than two concept comes circling back again. And so here we are, and we're all, and the cascading of events with the geopolitical, and then with the health issue, and now with the racial issue, and they're all just adding up to, hello, are you going to remember that this is one human family sharing one planet and co-creating one future? And if we can remember that and start acting that way, then we have a chance to keep the game going. And if we don't, then I think that there's collapse in our future, right? That the systems are really shaky. And whether it's 10 years or 50 years or 100 years from now, it doesn't even matter. And there's a whole range of thinking on that, but that's a whole nother topic. But it's lurking. The systems aren't working.
Right.
And so we need to live on the planet in a different way. And we need to live in a way that says the golden rule 2.0.
Right.
Do unto others as you would have others do unto you, because they are you.
Exactly.
There is no other, right? And that's the trick we played on ourselves. I think this is the ultimate trick we played on ourselves from a cosmic infinite standpoint,
Right.
is that we decided, Infinite Peter and Kathy decided, let's go play this game where we forget and see what happens. See
Right.
if we can remember, right? And so here we are in this forgetting and remembering process, and we've gone down the road for 14 billion years as a cosmic experiment, and 4 billion years as an earthly experiment, and a couple 100,000 years as some kind of Homo sapien, some kind of, in the genius Homo. And now, there's been humanoid people like us for at least 100,000 years, and people think more than that. Some think less. Doesn't matter. We're in this grand experiment where we're remembering and we're forgetting. And this is a chance for us to remember.
Right.
And so the sign is catching on, and now it's poised to go around. And I've got a couple of big projects that are already lined up to help it spread in the dance community and in the spirituality community. And we're already in the peace community, because everyone is reinventing themselves toward togetherness, toward unity, toward whatever I'm doing, and whatever business I'm up to has got to be pointing toward the good of the whole. Has got to be pointing toward everybody. We're all in this together. And the COVID thing in particular has made that a meme. Finally, that we get it. Oh, what I do affects you. If I sneeze near you, you could get sick and you could die. And although we always knew germs were everywhere, we know it in a different way now. And we treat each other slightly differently now. And we're prepared to treat each other in a whole lot better way.
I think there's one more component here, that this pause before the reset has allowed us to work on ourselves. The other social constructs we were in was speed, everything's fast, fast, more, more, more. And this pause that the lockdown created a way to unify yourself, because it's all an inside job anyway. And I wanted to add also that the groups that I've met through World Unity Week, I haven't seen a lot of ego, which is a big change, where people would, protect their position, and they're ready for you. I think that's what the difference is your sign's going to really take off now, because people are ready.
Yeah. There's a new listening. There's a new listening in humanity as to, okay, the old system wasn't working. And I tried to blinder myself to that because I'm winning and I'm doing good and I'm privileged and I want more. And I don't want to have to look at the fact that my more is costing so many other people. But now that awareness is finally sinking into human, that even as I get my new cell phone, which, I don't want to have to think about, oh my God, what did it take to create that? Right.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God, we need to rethink everything. And our future is so foggy that everyone's in this moment of reinvention to say, I don't have any idea where I go from here. And that causes this existential moment, right? We got the mirror of humanity is facing us saying, take a look at what's going on, because if you don't, it ain't going to go on a whole lot longer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That
Well,
it's
I'm
time.
a little more optimistic than that, but I do think that this, when I was working with humanities team for 3 years, we always talked about the 1%, that you just needed 1% to really shift humanity. And I think we've got it now.
Yeah. I
Like,
think it's
that's
in
the exciting part. You
every
can feel
category.
it. You can feel it. It's so exciting.
It
So,
really is
so
a
show
whole
us
new world.
again. Show us again. Teach us how
Right.
to do it.
So
Okay.
originally this was Winston Churchill, V for Victory is where this started
Right.
after the
Right. Which
war.
is war.
And which is might not be the right energy to build a peace movement on, but that's a bridge, water under the bridge. But so then it became anti-war, right?
Right.
However
Right.
that transition happened, this
Uh-huh.
became no war, peace, right? And so for all these years now, it's been this peace sign. Let's get along. Well, now we're reframing it. Now it stands for, we used to think we were separate from each other, from
Mhm.
the planet, from our future.
Okay.
right? We are remembering. The fingers come together as they come toward your heart. We are remembering right now in this very moment. And when we land here and we remember that we are all one family, and
Mhm.
there is this oneness, there is this unified consciousness. When we come from that heart-based place, we
Mhm.
can act together peacefully on the planet, right? And so it's emotion, peace in, peace out.
Do you say anything or you just
You say what you, I mean, that's the mantra behind it. We used to think we were separate. I'm remembering. When I can remember and act that way, it's a beautiful thing. Peace in, peace out. My peace, your peace. Namaste. I see the peace in you. You see the peace in me. Peace in my heart. Peace as my art. Whatever, however it moves
Okay.
through you to do your thing with the unity sign. It then brings up, someone says, well, what's that, Peter? Like, well, it's the unity sign. Well, what do you mean? Well, we thought we were separate. We're not. We know that, and we can act that way. Oh, huh. Okay. Never really thought about it that way.
So do you see this as a greeting? I saw a mime on Facebook where someone said, now that we can't shake hands, that everyone's going to do the Spock thing. So do you see it kind of as a greeting, like Lama, Namaste?
Yeah. Oddly enough, it shows up at a time when we can't hug or give high fives or shake hands.
Right.
And this is the next level. And this is the crazy synchronicities that have been going on, Kathy, of just the right timing. The listening's ready. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, if you will. And so this is the sign that says, hi, I hear you. It's crazy times. Let's do our best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hi, I feel for you. I know you're going through much more than I am. Hi, I'm struggling, but I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
And all we've got is this foundation of who we think we are,
Right.
right? And that's this existential moment. What do we believe about ourselves? Who am I beyond my humanity?
Right.
Right? And this is what religions have taught, and philosophies our whole life is a life unexamined is an unexamined life, or however those great quotes went, right? This moment is daring us not only to examine, go home, sit down with your family, stop working, stop traveling, stop doing all this stuff, figure yourselves out, and when you got it figured out, you can come back out, right? This is parental timeout from the cosmos, right?
Yes, I think we'll look back on this and see all the gifts. It's really going to be amazing. And I can see it already. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just truly amazing. So, well, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing this on the big screen somehow.
Yeah, well, it's going to just be on people around the world doing it. And then we have a song that we're doing and a dance program, and different people have come and said, I want to do a dance to that. I want to do a song to that. Right. So keep your ears open, because people will be doing it. And in today's video culture, right, it's like, hey, wait, I'll get a selfie of me doing it. And then I'll share that with my TikTok crowd and with my friends. And then everybody will be, how does unity move through you? How does unity move in
Perfect,
you, as you?
perfect,
Right?
perfect.
And for some people, it's animals or nature or art or singing or parenting or fixing stuff, right? Whatever, how does it help? We all have our own piece in the puzzle.
That's right. Perfect. Perfect. Well,
Ah,
thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so excited to know about it and to share it and to hear. I want to hear the song and everything else that you're doing about it, because I think it's time has come. It's
yeah,
perfect.
thank you. Thank you so much for your interest and then
Yeah.
supporting with this interview. And thank all of you out there. We're all going to the same place, right? We're all going to the same place, and we have patience for our brothers and sisters who take the scenic route or who take the fast route. It's okay. We're all ending up in the same spot. So be kind to yourself, and be kind to each other, and there is no other.
Perfect. Peace out.
Peace out. Peace in. Peace out. Because it's an inside job. You said so yourself.
It is. Well, we're this hologram we're co-creating together. So, yep.
Amen.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Peter. And everyone, this is Peter Melton. He's on Facebook. How else can
Yeah.
people connect with you?
Petermelton.com, and a little basic website to share some of the stuff. And I've written some stories, and I've just a few other things. I've done a bunch of work in the climate change world and in the peace world. And come Christmas time, I'll be playing Santa Claus, and that'll be fun. And so I do a variety of things to help folks remember, and blessings on your remembering.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Everybody,
Signing off from my heart to yours.
Love
The
is
unity
all.
sign.
Love is all, you guys.
Love is all.
Thanks. Bye bye.